Hello and welcome to Keeping It 100 Coalition Conversations, the official podcast for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated Metropolitan Baton Rouge chapter. I'm your host, Shanice Lewis, and in today's episode, we're shining a light on the Economic Empowerment Committee and diving into everything you need to know about the 2025 Pay Equity Summit. Our two-day signature event focuses on advocacy, action, and equity. We'll explore the goals of the summit and what's new this year and how you can show up, connect, and make the most of this experience all for free. So whether you're a young professional, an entrepreneur, or simply passionate about equity and empowerment, this episode is for you. But before we get started with the show, I want to acknowledge our sponsor. This episode is sponsored in part by Fierce Beauty by Toy, the official cosmetics of Keeping It 100 Coalition Conversations. So stick around at the end of the show to hear more about our sponsor. But today's guests include Dannielle Lewis, the Economic Empowerment Chair, and Monique Briggs, Mortgage Loan Originator. So thank you, ladies, for coming here today. And today is promo day for Economic Empowerment Committee because you were on the news this morning and you did such an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been going. I think we've been up for about 12 hours. We've been pushing it. So yeah, it's been pushing press day to day.
Yes. So can you tell us about the Economic Empowerment Committee's mission and its key initiatives within the Metropolitan Baton Rouge chapter?
Of course. So I truly believe that the Economic Empowerment Committee has a heartbeat for transformation. That's what I always say. Our mission is always to be bold and clear. We are here to advance Black women and girls by building pathways to financial freedom, entrepreneurial success, and generational wealth. We believe that true empowerment starts with access, right? Access to knowledge, resources, funding, and opportunities that historically have been out of reach for us. And through our initiatives, we don't just inspire the change that we want to see, we engineer it. We focus on equipping our community with real strategies to thrive in business ownership, career advancement, financial literacy, as well as wealth building. And it's about shifting from surviving to leading, and then leading with not just power and clarity, but confidence in all economic spaces.
So what specific programs or events has the Economic Empowerment Committee recently organized to promote economic advancement within the community?
So recently, one of our flagship initiatives was the Buy Black the Block Summit, which took place in February. So that was the last time I was on the podcast talking about that initiative. We also partnered with the Southern University to hold an HBCU-driven business expo. We collaborated with LHC, which is the Louisiana Housing Corporation, to offer an opportunity for first-time home buyers to get access to the certificates that can kind of give them the resources that they need to get into their first homes. And then we've worked with our beloved mentees to give them knowledge of entrepreneurship. We participated with the Collegiate 100 on Southern's campus, where I myself was on their panel to educate them on leadership advancements in the community. And now we at the turning point for the Pay Equity Summit. So we have been doing a lot in the community.
And can you share any success stories or testimonials from individuals who have benefited from previous Economic Empowerment Committee initiatives?
Sure. Our participants who've attended our events, they've mentioned and expressed through survey feedback how the content we delivered at the events brought real world value and how the events provided financial and business acumen. They also expressed how these events and provided the tools and knowledge they needed to start their entrepreneurship and real estate investment journeys.
And yesterday we had an event, an informational session in Ashland the membership chair had a success story she shared last night that she said she was renting, and I guess she went to one of your Buy Black the Block seminars, and y'all made her realize the money she used renting, she could be buying a house. And
That is
so
correct.
yeah, you got a success story right here in the chapter.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. She didn't tell us that, but it was good to hear last night that, we are not just, putting forth the effort within our community, but we are helping our sisters as well make a change in their lives also.
And so the Pay Equity Summit 2025 is coming up soon. And can you give us an overview of what this year's summit will look like and the impact you hope it has?
Sure. So this year's Pay Equity Summit is not just going to be an event. I believe it's going to be a movement in motion. In 2025, we are raising the bar even higher by focusing on real advocacy. We're focusing on real action and real equity outcomes. The summit is going to be designed to spark transformational conversations as well as to center and close racial and gender pay gaps, because more importantly, it's about equipping every attendee with tangible tools to create change in their workplaces, their businesses, and their communities. So our vision for this summit is to be simple. We want to be bold, but we also want every woman to walk away knowing that she has the power and the strategy to ask boldly, advocate fiercely, and claim what she's worth.
And we have a comment from the audience. Madam President say we have many success stories in our chapter, and she's referring to the Economic Empowerment Committee. So how is this year's Pay Equity Summit different from last year's, and what new elements can attendees look forward to?
So last year, it was the beginning, right? We were just planting the seeds. This year, we are building the actual blueprint for this event. One of the biggest differences that the attendees will notice is that we're going to focus on implementation. We're not just talking about pay equity, but we are going to show how to drive it forward, right? This year, we're also doing what's called the networking in action session. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the podcast. But we're also going to have more direct access to our industry leaders and change makers. And we are also introducing featured sessions instead of panels. They're going to be designed to dive a little bit deeper than we did last year, and on topics such as strategic salary negotiations, policies that are shaping economic justice today. So this summit, we believe, is definitely going to not just be about inspiration, but it's going to be about real world activation.
So day one of the summit is networking in action. Can you tell us what attendees can expect during this day and why it's an important part of the summit experience?
Yes. So networking in action, it's how we're going to set the tone. It's unlike any networking event that you've ever attended. Rather than aimlessly mingling, we're just going to curate intentional conversations. We want to connect mission-driven professionals, advocates, funders, employers who are aligned with equity as well as opportunity. So the attendees can expect strategic introductions, opportunities to build authentic relationships. They can lead and find collaborations, funding, leadership roles, as well as new partnerships. Now, my goal is that we believe that networking has to be purposeful, not just a presence, right? So we want to ensure that every connection that they're going to make is meaningful, as well as it being a potential to create a rippling effect beyond just the summit. And before I kind of stop on this question, I also wanted to address the myth that's been floating around about the event. This event is not just for business owners. And I get it. A lot of times we think our thought process around networking events is that it's only for people in business. So I want to tell you all that this event is not for just business owners. We want corporate professionals to come out. We want employers who may be looking for those professionals to come out. We also want those individuals who are not great at networking to come out. And I promise you, you will gain something from this event that you can take away so that you can share in your everyday life.
And so, what is the attire for this event? You are the networking expert. So when you look good, Is your networking more effective?
Yes, it is. So I believe that your first impression is your best impression. A lot of people may not believe that. However, you might want to come up in there with a signature piece on so that you can start and spark the conversation. So you can come in with business casual attire, but make sure you have something on if you're kind of timid. And you might not have something to talk about, have a statement piece on so that it can spark a conversation for you, but definitely have on business casual attire. You just never know who you're going to meet.
Yes, and we will be taking video and pictures. And so you need to come looking presentable. Don't mess up my pictures on social media. Come looking good. So, what are some tips you can give for individuals attending the Pay Equity Summit, particularly for making the most out of networking opportunities?
All right. So, I'm going to give you some good tips. All right. So, three quick but powerful tips for you I want to share. Number one is before you even step in the door, set your intentions. Know who you are coming to meet. Know what opportunities you are looking for. And most importantly, understand what value you bring to the table. Intentionality leads to transformational connections, and that's why you need to come to this event, right? Then number two is that you want to lead with curiosity, not your elevator pitch. The best networkers are the best listeners. Ask powerful questions, learn about others' missions. Don't just talk about yourself. Everybody doesn't want to hear everything about you first. Listen to them, and then you can talk about yourself so that you can let the collaboration flow naturally. And then number three is that you want to follow up quickly and personally. Relationships are built around after the room. You want to take notes, send intentional follow-ups, as well as nurture the relationships you sparked during the summit, because the Pace Equity Summit is just the launch pad for you. But you want to make sure that you have the follow through to create the breakthrough, as well as making sure that you keep those things going. So even if you're uncertain about coming to the event, and you don't know what to say, or you feel kind of uncertain about what to say at different events, I want you to follow my business page on Instagram. This is a shameless plug, but you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and I share those tips and tools for you to be able to learn what to say at networking events, and that's at Make Confident Connections. So you can learn what to say so you are not scared when you come up in that room.
And so, do you need business cards in 2025 to be effective at networking?
Well, Shanice, I don't believe in business cards, right? I believe in true connections. If you can spark a conversation and follow up after that, that's where the connection comes from. You want to make sure that you are building something outside of just a business card. We are not in 1955 or 1985. We don't just share business cards and think we're going to, get sales. Nobody wants to do that anymore, right? We want to build relationships, build authentic connections. And when you do that, you can actually allow everything to flow from there.
So, day two is of the Pay Equity Summit is pay her what she's worth. Advocacy, action, and equity. So, what can participants look forward to during this powerful day? And can you tell us more about the two featured sessions?
Yeah, so day two is where we will ignite that fire that started on day one. So we titled Pay Her What She's Worth for a Reason, because we are unapologetically centering economic justice and demanding action on it. Participants can look forward to dynamic keynote addresses, actionable strategies they can immediately apply to drive change. Whether they're entrepreneurs, employees, or executives, like you said before. Now, our two feature sessions, they're going to be centered around the strategic salary negotiation. So we first have Ask Boldly, Earn Rightfully, Mastering Strategic Salary Talks. That session is going to equip the attendees with bold negotiation strategies, confidence building frameworks, and real language to advocate for their full value. And then the second one is the policy behind the paycheck. how politics are shaping pay equity. In that session, we'll unpack the laws, the systemic challenges, upcoming policy initiatives, as well as how to empower attendees to become stronger advocates both at work and at the ballot box. Because, we are all about voting power. And it's not just about asking for more. We believe that it's if you know more, you can demand more. And we're going to have our presenter talk about how you can document it so that you can be able to show what you're worth.
So who are the speakers featured at the Pay Equity Summit this year?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Our speakers this year are two amazing women, Nina Williams and our very own sister, Dr. Leah Raby. Nina Williams will be our featured speaker for the Salary Negotiations Forum, and we're excited to see what she shares as she has over 25 plus years of experience. And our 100's very own Dr. Leah Raby is our featured speaker for the Policy Forum. And we all know that she's known for her fierceness with equality, and so we're also excited to see what she has to share as well.
And so this is a lunch and learn, correct? So food will be provided.
That's correct. We have a great meal set up.
Okay, so come hungry and ready to learn.
Yes.
So can you tell us about this year's sponsors for the Pay Equity Summit and why their support is so vital to this event's success?
Definitely. So we have some amazing sponsors this year. We have Citizens Bank and Trust, a loyal and awesome contributor to our chapter. We also have none other than our Madam Director of Marketing and Communications, the Shanice Lewis PR and Marketing Communications Agency. She is the powerhouse behind this year and last year's outstanding and quick turnaround flyers. I had to put quick turnaround because I call her and we get them done.
And that flyer looked good on the news this morning on the screen.
Yeah, right away. So we also have the Reimagine Women's Center, the location of the Lunch and Learn Summit. The RWC is the resource hub for professional women in the Baton Rouge area. And lastly, but definitely not least of all, we have our very own mortgage loan originator, Mo, the MLO, and I'll let her give you the details on everything that she does.
Yeah, so Monique, you are known as Mo to the MLO. So in the mortgage world, and you're one of our official sponsors this year. So can you tell us some more about your work and the connection to economic empowerment?
Absolutely. So, as a mortgage loan originator, my mission is to help families, especially those in underserved communities, achieve home ownership. So, home ownership is one of the most powerful tools that a person can have to build a generational wealth. And I'm passionate about walking my clients through the process and helping them secure their futures. So, my job as a mortgage loan originator also helps me, as one of the Economic Empowerment Committee's co-chairs, support the NCBW chapter as well.
Yeah, and I didn't know you were the co-chair. And we should have mentioned that earlier because I didn't know. You were always the co-chair, you knew as a co-chair.
So I've been the co-chair for the past year. It's actually two of us, myself and Sister Jada Montague, are both co-chairs of the Economic Empowerment Committee.
Okay. So Monique, how do you as the mortgage loan originator support financial literacy and home ownership opportunities in our community?
So I support financial literacy and home ownership opportunities by partnering with local real estate partners and hosting in-person home buyer seminars. We also do virtual seminars to disseminate the information about what people need to qualify to purchase a home, because most people just don't know where to start. So by us hosting these seminars, we're able to get them in front of us so we can give them that information. It's also about meeting people where they are. Most people don't, like I said, they don't know where to begin. So if they come to me as a mortgage loan originator, I can look at their credit, and if their credit is not where it needs to be, I can give them a plan to get them on track to purchasing a home so they can actually fulfill their dream.
Okay, and so we have your information on the screen. This has your telephone number, your email, and your website. So when you, like you said, when you come to get your help, you don't have to have everything perfect. You can just talk to you to see how you can become better with your credit and whatever else you need to get on track, right?
Correct. And right now, my company is offering soft credit pools because I know a lot of people are concerned about having that hard hit on their credit when they're applying for credit. So I do have the option to do a soft credit pool just to see where someone is. And like I said, if they aren't where their credit score needs to be, we can devise a plan to get them there.
And on this flyer, you look good too. You look
Thank you.
fine. So that help may make some extra sales when you're good looking.
Thank you. Thank you.
So why is attending the Pay Equity Summit valuable for both individuals just starting their careers and seasoned professionals?
So here's the thing. Pay equity isn't just a personal issue, right? It's a professional strategy, I believe. For individuals that are just starting in their careers, the Pay Equity Summit lays the foundation for them. It teaches them early on how to advocate for themselves, how to understand their market value, and how to negotiate with confidence. And then for our seasoned professionals, it's an opportunity for them to sharpen their leadership edge, to learn how to not only demand equity for themselves, but how to drive systemic change within their organizations and in the industries. So just know that whether you're walking into your first salary negotiation or you're leading a team, the summit that we are having is going to equip you with the tools, the language, and the strategies to not just survive, but thrive and lead.
And some people don't like to talk about money, and they say you're not supposed to tell how much money you make and not tell how much you get paid, and not like it's a taboo subject for some people to talk about money.
So you have to honestly, one of the things that I pray the presenters speak on is being transparent when you are in the room for your salary negotiations, because a lot of the times that's how employers get over, right? Is that you're afraid to talk about where you currently are and the market value of what you're worth. So if you don't know your worth and then you're afraid to talk about it, then they can kind of give you what they want to give you. So you have to be willing to open your mouth. What do our grandparents say? Closed mouths don't get fed, right? So you need to be able to open your mouth, or you're going to be, given the short end of the stick.
The scraps.
Yes.
So how do you hope the conversations and connections made at the Pay Equity Summit will continue to impact our community after the event is over?
So our hope is that the summit really sparks a ripple effect beyond those 2 days. We want the attendees to leave feeling not just empowered, but we want them to feel activated to advocate for themselves, to advocate for others, as well as to create safe spaces where pay equity becomes the norm, not just the exception, right? The conversations that we start in those rooms that we're going to be in should continue to the negotiation tables, in the board meetings, within the hiring practices, as well as throughout the community. Ultimately, we're just planting the seeds and helping them build the blueprint, but we want the leadership. We want to build a stronger and more economically just Baton Rouge community.
Mm-hmm. So what are the long-term goals for the Economic Empowerment Committee, and how do events like Pay Equity Summit help achieve them?
So our long-term vision is to continue to be bold. And I know you heard me say that word a lot tonight. But the economic empowerment, that is one thing that I feel that our committee is. We are bold in our decision making for the position that we put ourselves in front of the community. In our efforts, we aim to be the catalyst for the economic transformation in Baton Rouge for women, Black women and girls. We want to be the model, not just for here, but nationwide. So we focus on closing those wealth gaps. We focus on building entrepreneurial ecosystems, increasing access to leadership roles, and ensuring equitable pay. We don't want it to be a dream. We want it to be a documented reality for everyone. So events like the Pay Equity Summit are critical milestones on that journey. We want to create awareness. We want to bring forth pathways to action. Every conversation that we have, every connection, every resource that we bring, we feel like it's going to be another brick laid on the road toward making a lasting of economic empowerment.
And we have a question from the audience from Sister Nina. Why should we not take what's offered just to get in the door?
So, one thing that we learned from last year, and Madam President spoke on this when we were on the news this morning, when you take or when you accept your salary and you plan on retiring with that company, your retirement is based upon the salary that you currently have. AARP taught us that at the last Pay Equity Summit. So if you go in a lowballed, then you're going to retire uncomfortably. So you don't want to take what's, being offered. You want to make sure you're doing your research first. Know the market value, know what you are worth. That's why we say pay her what she's worth. Know what it is that you are supposed to be being paid. I always tell people to write down what it is that you have accomplished. If you can tell them what you have accomplished, when it's time for you to do your evaluations, you can slide it across the table and tell them, hey, this is exactly what I have done. This is what I have brought to the table. This is why you need to pay me what I'm worth. So never accept what they can, give it to you, because more than likely they have more money to offer you. So don't accept what they, initially give you.
Yeah, because initially, as a Black woman, they're definitely not going to give you the top of the line salary as a Black woman starting out.
Yeah, because Pay Scale Incorporated has already told us that we are 80, well, not us, but women are 83 cents to the dollar of our male counterparts, right? So we're below that. And then it only gets worse when we get older. So 45 years of age and older, it goes down to 72 cents. And as a Black woman, we're even less than that. So we're about 64 cents. So if we are getting 64 cents to every dollar that our male counterparts are getting, well, they have more money to offer us. So there's no reason for us to take what they're first giving us.
Mm-hmm. And so, how can individuals, businesses, or organizations get involved with supporting the Economic Empowerment Committee's efforts throughout the year?
So there are so many different ways that everyone can get involved. Individuals can join us as volunteers, mentors, as well as advocates. They can use their voices and skills to drive change for us. Businesses can come in and they can partner with us through sponsorships. They can share their resources with us. They can provide leadership development opportunities for women within our programs. Organizations can collaborate with us. They can help us with our future initiatives, as well as offer platforms for us to build our advocacy programs. If they have individuals that we would never touch, they can assist us in amplifying our mission, right? So no matter the level of experience, influence, or resources that they have, we have a place for everyone in our movement. So we invite everyone listening to be a part of rewriting the economic story for Black women and girls, not just in Baton Rouge, but far beyond the city. We are going to be the change that we want to see, but we need people like you that's watching to join us in this movement, and we can't do it alone.
And so I put your email address for the committee on the screen, sisternomics@ncbwmetrobr.org. So people can email the committee that want to support.
Yes.
So where can listeners go to register for the Pay Equity Summit? So let me first put this flyer. Now this is for networking in action. You can scan the QR code, which will take you to Eventbrite. And if you're looking at this and you're on your phone and you can't scan it, you can go to our website and find the link to register. And registration is almost full. So register as soon as you can. And this is going to be a great event. Any final words about Thursday?
Come prepared to network. Come prepared to not stand in the corner. Be prepared to open your mouth, tell people what it is that you are wanting. far too many times we as Black women sit in a corner and we don't share what it is that we want, right? We just sit in the corner and think that it's okay and allow people to come to us. But in order for us to get what it is that we want, we have to first put ourselves first. And in order to put ourselves first, we have to open our mouths. So we have to talk. So be a good listener. Listen, find out what it is that they have, understand their mission, and see how your values and your mission can align with them and collaborate. We are no longer competing. In this day and age, we cannot compete. We cannot compete, you guys. Like, there's no way that we can compete. We have to collaborate in order for us to make a better living for ourselves.
And so we have two different flyers. We have a flyer for Thursday, and we also have a flyer for Saturday. So make sure you're registered
Friday.
for both days. There are two different events with two different registrations.
I'm gonna make sure you say Friday, not Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messing up. Thursday and Friday, May 1st and May 2nd. So make sure you register for both events and join us at both events this week. Any final words on Friday?
We're just waiting. We're ready. We are ready to make sure that everyone comes in the door. Make sure that you have your notepad or your laptop, your pen, whatever it is that you're coming in with. Be ready to learn. Be ready to have your questions. Ask your questions, because no question is a crazy question. It's something that someone else is thinking about. You just are helping them get it answered. So come in if you have thought about something and you felt like you have been maybe your employer has done you wrong. We have someone who deals with that type of situation that's going to be a presenter. Bring that information to her. She will be willing to talk to you all. So we look forward to having everyone there. Come with an empty stomach. If you have to come on a extra lunch break or extended lunch break, don't worry about it. We will give you the meal to go back and tell them you were waiting in a long lunch line. So we are ready for you all, and we're excited to see everyone on Thursday and Friday.
And Monique, tell us where we can find more information about you assisting them with the home ownership process.
So if anybody's interested in the home ownership process getting started, or if you just have questions, you can reach me directly at 225-916-1212. My website is www.moldthemlo.com, and I am on all social media platforms at Mold the MLO.
And I got to ask you, what does Mo the MLO stand for?
So my name is Monique, of course. So Mo is the MO in Monique, and then MLO is just Mortgage Loan Originator abbreviation.
Oh, no, I didn't even put that together. Oh, that's cute. So we will see you. So if somebody wants to talk about this with you, they can talk about it at the networking event, right?
Absolutely, because I will be at both events. So yes, if you have mortgage questions, I will be on hand to answer those for you.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being on the show this evening. The Economic Empowerment Committee is always doing amazing programs, getting people certified for stuff, and just doing it big. So thank you for all the work you're doing in the community.
Thank you so much
for having us.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Me too.
And so before we go, as you see, economic empowerment is one of our pillars of the organization. And so we support our sisters, and we have an official cosmetic sponsor for the show. Beauty is Confidence, and Fierce Beauty by Toy is here to help you own it. Thank you to Fierce Beauty by Toy, the official cosmetic sponsor of Keeping It 100 Coalition Conversations. Visit her website at marykay.com/Latoya S. Johnson to shop the latest in skincare and cosmetics. And don't forget to follow her on Instagram at Fierce Beauty by Toy. Oh, Latoya is in the audience. Shout out to Latoya. Oh, wait. Wrong person. Shout out to Latoya, our makeup sponsor. And so make sure you support her. And I am wearing, let me put my camera up. I'm wearing a dark lipstick today, provided by Latoya. Usually I'm wearing bright red, so this is a different look. Y'all got to tell me if you like me with this dark, deep color. And so let's definitely support our sister and her cosmetics business. So thank you to our guests this evening, Dannielle Lewis and Monique Briggs, and make sure you follow our chapter on all our social media pages and visit our website at ncbwmetrobr.com. When you go to the website, you can scroll to the bottom of the homepage and join our email list where you will get weekly emails about our upcoming events and initiatives. You can also go to the donation tab and give us a donation. You could go down and specifically pick the Economic Empowerment Committee if you want to give a donation to the Economic Empowerment Committee. So I've been your host this evening, Shanice Lewis, and on behalf of the Metropolitan Baton Rouge chapter and President Courtney Hunt, thank you for tuning in to Keeping It 100 Coalition Conversations. And until next time, be blessed.